Hey, Coach Weber, you talked earlier about this game would be a mental test for your guys. How do you think they fared coming back off of a quick game?
I thought we battled, but that's what you didn't come here just to battle. We came out with some good pop at times. We obviously you make a couple layups. The kid comes off the bench and hits 7 threes. We didn't make him dribble at all. Credit to him. Big shots. They made threes. They didn't make threes last night. They made them tonight. We always take a lot of pride in being a good 3-point defensive team with hands and getting to the shooters. Kofi's going to get stuff inside. He's just such a monster. They do a good job of getting it to him. I thought we battled him, made him work. But when the other guys step up and make those plays, those are things that, that make a difference. Marquise comes off the bench, also, obviously gives us a nice boost of energy. But a handful of plays, handful of possessions, same as last night, better decisions. Got to get more assists. We got down on the turnovers, but that's maybe because we took some too quick shots. We got to do a better job of getting assists. Our point guards had 2 assists between them, and they had 19 shots. So that's a lot of shots. A little more patience. Some of it's how the teams played. Last night, Arkansas made us go to the hoop. Finally, we started attacking them. But tonight, because of the ball screens and Kofi, you got to take advantage of him and make it tough on him and get to the paint. But there's times where we miss people with throwbacks or the extra passes. And then we got to shoot threes on the line. The kid that made all the threes for them, I bet he was on the line every time. We're shooting threes. If you watch last night's film and tonight, you got 5 or 6 each day that are 7, 8 feet beyond the line. And that's a tough shot for anybody. You make 4 in a row, maybe you do the heat check, but we can't do that all the time. So disappointing. I still believe we're a good team. I got to keep them believing that. We got to take a step. We got to get better in these next couple games. And then we'll have, after the next 2 home games, we'll have some tough games coming up. So every game is tough. We got to make improvement. The other thing is each game we've had 1 or 2 guys not really give us anything. And we got to get a little more consistency from some guys.
Coach, thanks. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thank you.
Next up, Ryan.
Coach, you mentioned the turnovers earlier, but you had 15 last night and only 4 tonight. What changed there?
Well, Arkansas, their pressure is so elite. Their quickness, their pressure, the way they just almost force you to go make a play. And, that was, part of it, I would say. And we didn't do a good job of reading it, being a little more patient tonight. A little better execution, they still have 18 turnovers, but they have 20 assists. Some of it, they shot better. Some of it, we didn't shoot as well. So, but I think we got to get to the point where we're making plays for each other. And that'll be our next step, and just a little better on defense. We never give up 7 threes like that to somebody. That's a little bit of pride that we got to get better at.
Thank you.
All right, Michael.
Yeah, Bruce, how many of the little things are you guys not accomplishing, just the small stuff in basketball right now?
Well, I think that's, if you really think about it, the difference in the game, it's a free throw block out. If you watch last night, a couple of them again tonight, we have it at 7, and then they get the offensive rebound down the stretch. On the free throw, that can't happen. Those are little things. Missing layups, those are little things. Making the extra pass, making the right pass, executing a play. Those are things we're gonna have to definitely make some progress with. And again, I still think we have a chance to be good. They got to believe it, they got to want it, and then they got to have the discipline and the toughness to take that step to really become a special team.
And how much work do you have to do on shot selection?
Well, again, I talked about those long threes. There were some forced ones. There's no doubt. Again, I don't know if it's selfishness. I don't think it is. It's just they're trying to make plays, and sometimes the best play is just move the basketball, let it happen. Because right now it hasn't helped us. We're 0 for 10 last night in the first half from three, and they were long ones tonight. Down the it's a close game. Get to the paint, make them pay. Against Arkansas, we tracked it when we had paint touches. We scored 71% of the time. Tonight, when we had paint touches, it was 58, 60%. And you think about a few more of those layups that we get in, could have made a big difference in the game. It's just disappointing, but it's not over. A long way to go. We got to take a big step here the next couple of weeks.
Thank you, Bruce.
Next up, Cole.
Coach, you mentioned earlier in the week that this was going to be a test for your team, and obviously, the goal was to come out with 2 wins, I'm sure. But just what would you grade these past 2 games in Kansas City?
I mean, to me, it's C plus. It's you didn't win either game, and we're capable of doing it. And I think they got to realize how tough it is against those tougher teams to do that, and to be a little more patient, to be a little tougher on defense, to block out, just mention the little things that make a difference in the game that Michael brought up, and those are things that are things that are going to make a difference if we're going to take a step.
And then you look at a guy like Coburn for Illinois. Is he somebody that Ezeagu and Bradford can look at and maybe take some things away from his game?
Well, he posts up so strong. He's just such a big body, and he's got great hands. I hope so. I hope it's one of the things, Davion. I told you guys by mid-December, hopefully we can get him going a little more. Casey, we got to keep him out of foul trouble so he can be a little more effective. Again, he has a foul last night on a layup. The guy got a dead layup. Don't waste a foul. Tonight, again, late on getting back. Somebody wasn't a safety. And he, again, don't waste that foul. Let it take the hoop, go down, and so you get to play, and you can play a little more free and loose on the defensive end. So we need, those guys got to make progress. They got to be a threat, and we got to have a little more patience to go to them.
We got time for one more here. We'll go to you, Kellis.
All right, closing out. Bruce, when I know it probably wasn't the plan to have Logan in there defending their big guy tonight, but just how do you think you did, and how can you maybe avoid that in the future?
I really thought Logan the last 2 games. You watched film last night. He did some good things, especially defensive. The defensive concepts are hard. Obviously, you're putting him up against a really tough task tonight. It's a little overwhelming. The execution in that stretch. We had used a couple timeouts, and I probably should have used a timeout earlier in the first half because we were playing pretty well. We subbed, and then there was that long stretch without a timeout. And we scored, they scored, we scored. I should have just called timeout. I guess that hindsight. I told the coaches that I wish I would have just used it because that game was a game of spurts. They have the spurt, we have a spurt, they have a spurt, we have a spurt. But that one spurt that they had was just too much that put them over the hump. But you come down, I think we have a 3-point lead and Ish has a layup or a 2-point lead. I don't know, but you got to get something out of that. Mike has a tip in on one of them. Marquise has a layup. Those little things. The coach always said you got to finish your breakfast, and we haven't done a good job of finishing our breakfast.
All right. Thanks, Bruce. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
All right. Thanks,
Brian,
Coach.
you got something?
No. Go for it.
Oh, am I allowed to ask it?
Yeah, go for it, Ryan. Last one.
Bruce, I guess, you kind of said a minute ago that you kind of grade this as a C+ for the event, but I guess do do you walk away feeling at least more encouraged that you guys were so close against two top 15 teams, or more
Oh,
discouraged?
I'm not happy we lost, but I mean, I think we showed we can do it, but now can we shore up those little things that we've talked about to take a step? And, we're not that far off. But can we make those changes, on those little things and finish some of the plays and execute and our rotations, all those things that, Selton has been pretty good. He gets in foul trouble, never really gets involved in the game. He is the one guy that got assists again, 4 assists, no turnovers. So, it's just, it's just disappointing. I had expected better, and I still expect more. And hopefully we can rise to that where my level of expectation is. I hope they have that desire now. Are they going to go do that?